Hello everyone, this is Godzilla 1964. I will be doing the intros for the reviews again because yes, I am back. As for Jaguar, well, I agreed for him to be in this video and to be the main person in this video. So, Godzilla. What now? Do you want to see what I got? What's that blue string in your hand? I got a dog. What? Jet, what is that? It's my dog. Look, I named it Anguirus. Oh, Jet, that thing is an Anguirus. You know that, right? Yeah, I named him Anguirus. No, I mean... Ugh. Oh my god. No, down boy, down. Oh. I think he likes you. No, Jet, I think we're about to break another Osaka castle. How's it, Godzilla fans, kaiju fans, collectors, and just general people of YouTube? This is Chanzilla 1964 backing with another figure review. This time I'm gonna do a double figure review. I will review Manda, but I have another skit for him that I've planned. Most likely it's gonna be the review after this one. So, no worries, I will get to Manda, even though he's just basically a articulated pool noodle. It looks really cool. But all that aside, let's get to the main attraction of today's review, Anguirus and Jaguar, aka Eggman. So let's get the simplest one, I will say, out of the way first, which will be Jaguar. So for Jaguar, detail on this guy is superb. Now this is the first version of Jaguar and Godzilla Singular Point, so it doesn't have the it doesn't look like Jaguar essentially. Whereas down the line, as this incarnation of Jaguar keeps not evolving but getting upgraded, it looks more and more like the Jaguar we all know and love, you know, with the arrow on his chest and proportional legs and arms, which I know is definitely something a lot of people gave this figure grief about. But detail on this guy is amazing, from all the nuts and bolts to the armored plating, which is sculpted in, to all the different panels. Like even the heads bolts are individually sculpted in, and the antenna. You cannot miss the antenna. This figure looks great, and I think it's a great representation of this incarnation of Jaguar. I mean, they even included the, I guess you would call these the rubber, the squishy parts, so that the elbows could move. And I mean, well, speaking of the elbows, we'll get to that in Articulation, but even the hands are very well detailed. Which they could have just left this plain, a flat, you know, they could have just left the fingers flat and plain, but they went out. They went ahead and they put a lot of detail in it, which I will just say kudos to Bandai for the amount of detail put into these Godzilla Singular Point figures, because so far it's been pretty good, aside from maybe Godzilla no, even Godzilla Amphibia I think was a very well detailed figure. Paint wise could have been a lot better, but the one figure I might have a grief about with detail would be Manda. I really like, I'll explain in Manda's review, but that's the only figure I might have a problem with in the entire Godzilla Singular Point line, up until now. But the fact that they included the wires here and the different nuts and bolts on this guy, I think detail for this guy is amazing, to say the least, which is pretty much the comment I've had for every Singular Point figure. I mean, imagine what I'm going to say about Anguirus. Paint wise on this guy, when I got him, he didn't have all these silver highlights and accents. It was just this plain egg white color, I guess, or yellowish white color that this figure came in, which I believe is the figure's vinyl. color. But Bandai did go ahead and paint the silver over here, the yellows, reds, blues, which I mean, Bandai did a very good job with paint on this guy as well. So paint and detail on this guy, both are amazing. But that's not the highlight of this figure for me, and I did go over this with the 1964 Memorial Box review, but the articulation on this guy, Bandai knocked it out of the park. So we have a total of 6 points of articulation on this Jaguar. That's right, 6. So we have 1 and 2 in the arms, the shoulders. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe 7. 2 in the legs. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 in the waist. That's 5, and then 2 for his elbows. I mean, this has to probably be one of the most articulated figures like this out there. Not saying it's the most articulated Bandai figure, but definitely one of the most articulated figures that is like this out there. Because, I mean, in my opinion, Bandai could have stopped at the shoulders and the waist, like how they do for most figures who are humanoid in design, which I thought they were going to do with this figure. But when the reviews started coming out that the legs could move and the elbows could move, I mean, I was very excited for what was to come after this figure came out. So, I mean, that's all I gotta say is that this figure is just amazing. And the amount of time and work Bandai put into this Jaguar really shows. With Jaguar out of the way, up next we have Anguirus, which this guy is custom painted. He did not come in the box, which, by the way, I got these guys from Hobby Link Japan, my #1 go-to shop for any Godzilla figures that are coming out, being released by Bandai, which are not Godzilla store exclusives. But Anguirus did not come in this color format. If you look on the underside of Anguirus, pretty much all the underside over here is all the same. This is pretty much the color that Anguirus came in, including the shell and his body, this upper portion of his body, and this armored plating on his legs. It came in this color. It was all plain, by the way, the armored plating when it came in, including here, and the spikes over here were not painted. As for the toenails, all the toenails on the front here were painted, aside from these back ones, which is to be expected with Bandai. I will give Bandai this. The paint that was applied on the Anguirus' shell and his spikes was awesome. I mean, yeah, Bandai did really well painting this guy. Only grief I might have with it is I wish they painted this, or at the very least these spikes, which they did not. But they painted pretty much everything. Every horn on this upper part of Anguirus, which was painted. Even these horns were painted, which, I mean, I give kudos to Bandai for. Now, as you can see, the underside of the belly here is just a plain red. I went ahead and black washed this. This part over here sadly was not painted by Bandai, but I went ahead and did this myself, which is easy enough, easier said than done. But I mean, the paint on Anguirus is just a small gripe, in my opinion, because the detail on this guy is amazing. From the smaller spikes in between Anguirus' bigger spikes on his shell, and even Anguirus' face. I mean, this is Anguirus, but from his face to his tail, which is very well detailed, even the underside of Anguirus is all detailed. I will say this, the thing that I love about this Anguirus' design is that his carapace splits again. Like in the original the original suit for Anguirus back in 1955, his carapace was split in two, so it was like this. But then they had projection problems because of the carapace kept splitting and falling apart during shooting, so they had to glue it together. But that's just a little brief history of Anguirus. Back to the figure, I think that this figure is amazing. Even without all the paint apps that I included, it's still an amazing figure. Very well painted, very well detailed, and it goes along great with Jet Jaguar here. Granted, I wish they either made Jet Jaguar smaller or Anguirus bigger, because in the Singular Point anime series, Anguirus is this big compared to Jet Jaguar. Like, he's significantly bigger, but then again, Jet Jaguar's just small in the anime series, which is okay. I'm totally fine with that. But I mean, yeah, that's the scaling wise between these two. It's not the best, but it's workable, because I still think Anguirus is a great figure. Jet Jaguar is still a great figure, and I mean, Jet Jaguar being Jet Jaguar, he's expected to be the same size height wise as Godzilla, which I hope we get a second Jet Jaguar figure with the final upgrade of him, where he has the arrow on his chest, the proportional arms and legs, which, by the way, I mean, I don't mind this design. I know I might get a lot of backlash for that, but I don't really mind this design. I think it's a very cool, definitely unique take on this character. And Anguirus, I mean, everyone loves this Anguirus design. Everyone loves Anguirus in general. So, yeah. But would I recommend you guys including these guys in your collection? 100% yes. Because if you're going to get Anguirus, you have to get Jet Jaguar. Because a little history for Godzilla Singular Point, these two go up against each other, these two versions specifically. And yeah, you just have to watch the anime series for yourself when it comes out in June, late June of this year. Because the fight scenes between these two they're not epic, they're not on some grand scale like some other Godzilla fights, but it's entertaining and it's a monster fight nonetheless. Well, it was fun. It was a fun monster fight for me. But from the detail to the paint to the price range, which I believe right now on eBay the highest these two will go is $33, and I believe these guys are still up on Amazon Japan if you guys are able to get them through there. Yeah, I definitely recommend that you guys get these, because price range is relatively affordable, paint and detail is amazing, scale could be better, but I think it still works out great. But if you guys like the review of Doggy Boy over here and Eggman, I suggest you give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more Godzilla toy reviews or news or kaiju news, I suggest you subscribe down below, and be sure to leave a comment, because it just helps the channel get out there and it helps our channel in general. But yeah, this has been Chanzilla 1964 with another toy review, signing out. Peace.